we started recording.
That's it.
Oh, that's it.
Oh,
that's
Rosa,
it.
that's it. Wait,
Yeah, that's it.
Hello. Hello. Sad better be recording over
I'm
there.
here enjoying my water, sipping some wine. Like, oh.
Yo, we got Rosa in the building.
Rosa en la casa. Welcome.
Rosa Cabrera.
Welcome. How are you?
Yo, ¿qué número episodio es?
28.
Nice.
This is
Nice.
episode
28.
28.
Like your
Rosa.
birthday.
Yeah.
Is it?
When is your
26.
birthday?
You were close.
Damn.
August?
Wow.
Then that would have been
2
perfect.
days.
You started. You
Shit.
can't start the episode with her birthday wrong, bro. Damn.
Yo, edit that out, team.
Rosa.
But of what month of August?
January.
Oh,
January.
January.
She a winter baby.
Okay.
Aquarius.
Happy belated.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
A year later.
Rosa's
Yeah,
actually,
almost.
I mean, are we
Guess how
talking
old is
about
she?
her birthday?
she's 20, you know she's 21?
No.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
You're such a liar.
Definitely.
Nah, 22.
21.
But my headphones
Yeah.
are falling though.
2 tops.
Two
Tops.
Rosa, thank you for joining us.
I'm
This
not
is
scared
dope.
to say my age.
It's fine.
What's your age?
Age is just a number.
Yeah. 32.
That's
Ooh.
good.
32?
Look at that.
Lying.
That's good.
32.
Though.
Yes. I'm not scared.
What's the secret?
Buen vividos. Laugh a lot.
Laugh a lot.
Good. That's a fact.
And stay positive. Definitely.
Stay positive.
Because
Y tú
But
comes
those
bien
crazy
también,
shit.
right?
no.
You work out. You look like you work out though.
No, I
I mean,
hate
dancing
the
is a
gym.
workout, right?
Oh shit.
Sorry, guys.
It's
I'm
the
not here to
dancing.
tell you go to the gym. Like, I am not that person at all.
Eat
She's like,
pizza,
I'm gonna keep
fuck
it
it.
real
Yeah,
with
I
you.
hate doing this for I don't know how long.
She said, I hate doing
It's
this.
ridiculous.
Bicep curl.
Bicep curl.
I mean,
Thank you.
dancing is a workout.
Yes, it's
That's
a
true.
cardio. It's a workout. It's at the end of the day, you become an athlete because you have to. You have to try to maintain the only instrument that you're using, which is your body. So, yes.
I love that. Her
Ooh.
instrument is her body.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's like a guitar.
Yes, definitely.
El
Wow.
cuerpo como una guitarra.
One of my questions for you is going to be that is how you view your body and your profession.
I mean, you have to love your body. And I think dance helped me a lot with that. A lot. When I was younger, I was very insecure. I got bullied a lot. I got called everything. A surfboard.
Who didn't get bullied? I feel like a lot
Exactly.
of that's crazy. Now that I
Yeah.
think about it, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
Did you get bullied when
Of
you were
course,
younger?
it's New York, bro.
Yo,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
everyone got bullied. Sad. Did you get bullied when you were younger?
He was too big.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He was always the big guy. He was always the one doing the
He was
bullying.
doing the bullying. Oh, you a bully, bro. Sorry to cut you off. So
No,
yeah.
no, it's perfectly okay. No, and I agree with that. I hear a lot about bullying nowadays. And I understand it is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Definitely. But it was kind of normalized when I was younger. My own parents were bullies.
They was bullying.
You know, I would be dancing on stage and my mom like, what were you doing with your mouth? Why was your face like that? Like, ma.
¿A dónde tú aprendiste eso?
Haciendo
Very
mueque.
critical.
Esa
vaina.
carita, dime, ¿qué tú estabas haciendo? Like, you know, your own parents. So you kind of like just took it. But because of that also is where dance played in a big part, because to be able to do the steps and the movements and learn, let's say ballet, you have to appreciate your body and learn how to love many aspects of your body. You have to. It's the only way that you'll be able to understand what movements you're doing and how to get to those movements.
Right.
So dance helped a lot in that sense where I never really had like body insecurity issues and stuff like that. But then again, you know, I'm pretty lucky also
Genetics.
wise,
Right.
you know, I mean, I've never been like super heavy or super thin, like skeleton thin either. So I've gotten lucky in that respect too.
So how did the dancing start? Was it the bullying push you to dance or not really?
No, so I'm Dominican.
No.
No.
Just wanted to say.
In
And
case I didn't know.
Just in case. Just in case. Word
Hi,
up.
people listening, in case you didn't know.
Dominican.
I'm Dominican, and you kind of grow up dancing, right?
That's true.
Every house party, everything, it was literally dancing with my dad or my uncles or my cousins or something. So that was always in me. And then when I was in elementary school, and there was a dance teacher that came in and said that she wanted to audition for a dance program. And I remember I had just done a Mother's Day dance situation in my school. And I got put in the middle in front what? I was like, this is what this feels like? Oh my God.
Y todo el mundo.
No, you know which song? I'm every woman.
Oh, shit.
Get it.
Yeah. And you already know. I was like, yes. And after that, when the teacher came and said, there's a dance program, I was like, me, please? Can I join? And when I auditioned, I didn't get in right away. And I started in art. And I was doing dance as an after school thing. And the teacher saw my potential and then moved me to then be a major in dance. And then I auditioned for LaGuardia High School for the Performing Arts.
What grade was this?
When I started junior high school, what fourth grade? Fifth grade?
No, it's elementary.
It's elementary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, elementary school.
Yeah,
I mean, nowadays it's different though.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Elementary school is when the teacher came, like fifth grade.
Yeah.
And then I graduated and went into junior high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then from there, auditioned, and I was one of the only. It was me and another kid. I want to say another kid from my school that got into LaGuardia, and that's it. Nobody else that auditioned.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was like a big thing.
Yeah.
And I went into LaGuardia High School, and that's when I started like my professional training.
In high school.
Yeah.
High school dancing.
Like that was
high
my.
school.
Is that when you started doing the Millie Rock? Oh wait, no, that's not for the dancing. Fuck out of here.
She used to do the spin-a-rooney.
Nowadays you gotta learn all those movements though.
kidding. It's
Nowadays,
hip-hop.
you're doing them in every music video, every artist every choreographer, they're gonna sprinkle those in there. I mean, you have to please the crowd, and they love a little. They need to follow along too.
Versatility.
You know.
So is that how you fell in love with dancing, or was there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you like the attention?
Yes. Who doesn't?
I like
I mean, what artist? I think it's bullshit. If you're an artist, knowing that fame is gonna come or some recognition is gonna come with it, that you hate the attention.
You're gonna be
it's like
depressed.
so ridiculous. I'm sorry.
I started singing for the
find that to be
females.
so ridiculous.
And I think there has been artists that when they make it to that level, they break. And those are the artists that don't like the attention. So to your point, in order for you to be a successful artist, I think you do have to like the attention to a certain level.
But I think that a lot of them
them
break. Like, for example, let's put examples like Amanda Vines, right?
From Nickelodeon.
Yes. And she had a very public, like, meltdowns type of situation. I think in part of it wasn't, oh, look at all the attention I'm getting. It's, look at all the attention I'm getting, but I'm not getting it for the reasons that I want to get it. And now the attention that I'm getting is so negative that I don't even know how to dig myself out of that hole. So it's not really that they don't like the attention or don't want the attention. It's that the attention now is so negative and so toxic that that's the reason they break, you know? And that's a tough thing to control, though. It's a tough thing to control. Because you can't control what other people think, and your intention might be great. Your intention might be like the most genuine, but how the other person perceives it is very different and depends on each person.
Yeah.
So sometimes
Especially
it's like,
nowadays. There's so much negativity out there nowadays.
But speaking of intentions, what in the end for your viewers is your intention with your dance? What do you want the interpretation to be, or for the message to be in the end when you dance?
I mean, I just like making people happy, to be completely honest. I enjoy the idea that you could control that energy. Because it's the energy. And when you're in a crowd and everybody's in the same wavelength, you feel it. You truly, like, genuinely feel it.
Yeah.
And that feeling of everybody being connected and being happy and enjoying some, like, an art form or music or whatever it might be, to me is awesome. So I think my goal has always been the entertainment aspect of dance. It's not only inner emotion, and yes, I'm working through my emotions and stuff like that, but it's more for me is what the energy that I could put out and how the people could react to that and make somebody's day change, you know? Now,
let me ask you, there's a bunch of questions we have, but this is one I've always thought about, like, for a dancer, a professional dancer, when you dance, do you focus on the beat or do you focus on the lyrics? Because I feel like when you dance, you can focus to either or.
Yeah.
And still, if you focus to the lyrics, you can still be on beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, of course.
So what do you, when you listen to, like, what do you feed off? What are the vibes you feed off? Is it the beat or the music?
That's
or
a good
both?
question.
Like,
yeah, definitely both. Definitely both. And if you notice, in a lot of choreography, there is a lot of interchanging between making a move hit a lyric and making a move hit the pop, pop.
Yeah, that's true.
But you always wave in and out of it. Because, like I said, our body's my instrument, right? The same way that a guitar is not going to play every single note that the drum plays in the, it's playing its own notes, but it's adding to that music. It's creating the vibes and where the music is going.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the body. So, if I want people to notice a beat, then I'm going to hit that beat because that's what I want them to notice. But if there's a word and that is very important and it's something that the viewer needs to, be captivated by, then I'll dance to the words so that people can be like, oh, that's what that says in that part?
Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes you see, I feel like I've seen like people dancing and their dance movements will interpret the lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, let's say, if Future was singing, I'm whipping in the kitchen, all of a sudden you see someone do a whip and then they'll wow.
Yeah.
How about nadie goza como yo? Nadie goza como yo. Hey.
But
you clearly just came from the R.
No, don't be judging.
I'm a dancer myself.
Oh, really? I didn't know that about you, Los.
Yo, mira,
For real?
mira, tú le das 3 shots de genia a Los.
Yeah?
Y ese tigre te bachata nation right there.
Stop it. I don't know how to dance. Have you taught anyone how to dance?
Yes, but only the classes that I've taught are little kids, my babies.
Oh, that's
4, 5,
nice.
6 years old.
Yeah. Is it a
That's
group
awesome.
of kids or?
It was. I don't teach anymore, but when I was teaching, it was in Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was. I had my little babies, my 5 and 6 year olds, who I used to teach ballet or
Aw,
movement mostly.
dope.
But yeah,
that's so cute.
And you know what? We need to let the listeners know what type of dance you focus on, or what type of
style
style
that I'm
that's
doing
the
right now.
word.
Genre.
Yeah.
Genre. There you go.
Genre.
Word up.
You know what? I was gonna say genre, but I didn't know if you could apply that to like dancing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
So what type of dance genre or style you focus on?
Right now, I'm focusing on burlesque.
Nice.
So,
I seen that.
Yeah.
That's fire.
I saw
Yeah,
that you
Yo, let's
seen
go
that.
to a show.
trying to.
Invita.
Yeah.
Tú pagas
¿Quién?
y yo llego.
Él siempre quiere que yo pague. Él siempre quiere que yo pague. I'm
You know
telling
what I'm
you.
saying? Like,
But,
we'll pull up. I keep telling.
We chilling with
me
Rosa
Do you
at the
have like
burlesque show.
a secret stash or something? Why do they think you got money like that?
I don't know why.
Ya está parada.
Yeah.
I don't
Anyways, there was
understand.
something.
Los que no hablan mucho.
You
tienen.
think
Oye.
anyone could get those type of rizos? Nah,
That's a fact.
ella
Oye.
está parada. You know what I'm saying? She
Yo,
getting
not
it.
for nothing, having curly hair is expensive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean,
It
but it is easier to maintain. You know what I mean? Like it
Mm,
takes
that's
more
true.
products and stuff
I mean,
like
you
that,
can
but
rock
it's
both.
easier in the sense like when I straighten my hair and I put in a ponytail, it gets the
Yes.
weird waves. I'm like,
Me
I don't
too.
feel like straightening it again. I'm just gonna stay like that.
But you
Wait,
can rock
this,
both
I'm just
looks.
like-
I like when you straight hair and you curls. You
Thank
can rock.
you. Oh, yeah, of
Because a lot of girls can't rock. Like tienen pelos rizos, pero no se ven bien con pelos rizos.
Yeah.
right.
There's girls that could do both.
Yeah, you can do
Can I ask you, because for me in my career, my hair in one moment or another has come to play.
yeah.
How has your hair affected, or has anyone tried to change your hair or your image when it comes to your career?
Well, I am a very strong character. So, no, but of course there's always been little side comments, little, for example, I took ballet for a really long time. Ballet, you have to have your hair up in a bun. More because, I mean, they say it's a safety thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more because it's classical, it's
Yeah,
the
it's a
classic thing
classical
to do.
dance.
So you have your leotard, you have your tights, you have your bun, like that's the uniform. So there was times that my hair was like this and I would just put it up in a bun. So my curls were still sticking out and it wasn't the most clean bun. And of course I would hear little comments from the teachers and little comments from the other students. And so that's been a thing, but I don't know. I don't know why I've always felt that other people are wrong for trying to put their perceptions on me.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
which happens
so-
a lot. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from. Maybe my parents.
But now you're independent.
I've always
Okay.
been independently
contractor.
contracted.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's good.
yes. I've always.
So that's
I've
always
been
good,
doing.
too.
Okay, so after I left the ballet company, I was in a small pre-professional ballet company called Gestures. After I left them and started doing more of the commercial stuff, I completely became independent. I was booking myself because I was an undocumented immigrant for a long time.
Okay.
So throughout most of my dance career, I've had to really just kind of hustle and see who would accept the fact that, at the moment I wasn't, legally documented, but I could do the job and I could do the job well. Mm-hmm. So it's always been a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But good thing you left ballet, porque eso tú sabes, yo. I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Sounds like he has experience with this.
Not experience, just what I've seen. Like, esa muchacha pasan trabajo. You seen their toes, bro?
Oh man,
that shit crazy. Them little girls be nails coming out. Like, that's child abuse, yo.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of
Si yo tengo una futura hija, she's not gonna do ballet.
Karate.
Why not? It's a beautiful technique.
It is, but she gonna be hurt.
Well, it depends. You don't get them on point shoes right away from the beginning. It takes some time. So I'm
gonna just get her the first class and be like, no te gustó? Okay, vámonos.
So,
it's horrible.
Ballet is really different from burlesque.
Yeah.
OD.
Explain to us a little bit what burlesque is.
Where?
Oh, goodness. So I am integrating myself in the world of burlesque because burlesque is its own world, is its own community, is its own art form.
Nice.
Who put you on?
So I was Emmanuel Hernandez. He's awesome.
Shout out to Emmanuel.
Hi, Emmanuel. And Marlene Ortiz. They founded Bum Bum Burlesque. I had danced with Manny before, and he contacted me and asked me and gave me the opportunity to join the company. And I was in a place at the time where I was lacking creatively. Like, I was dancing and I was dancing with artists here and there and stuff like that. But I wanted to go back to those roots of like jazz and that cabaret feel and really do choreo that resonated with more of the styles that I liked.
Nice.
I was in New Orleans 2 weeks ago, and they do a lot of burlesque.
Yes. They have a really big.
The clothes is fire too.
Yeah, they have a really big show that they do in New Orleans, where it's like the big names go and do performances and stuff. Is amazing. But so I'm getting into the world now, so I'm also learning as I'm going. The cool part about this company is that it hires all professionally trained dancers. So we're doing burlesque, but also choreography in between the burlesque moments, you know?
Oh,
so
nice.
to try to give us some structure and to also be able to appeal more to the commercial masses. Because if you go to a real like cabaret night, underground burlesque night, what we do is very PG compared, you know.
PG, well, like it's not as adult.
Yeah, I mean, there's burlesque shows. Like I said, the burlesque world,
depends.
you have to be in it and to really understand it. Because me explaining it is gonna sound crazy.
Oh, but I want to hear the.
I want to hear that shit.
But no, yeah, like
Talk about it.
Word up.
Burlesque shows encompass a large spectrum of the arts in burlesque. So it was in cabarets, right? That the women would come and do burlesque. And what we know is the commercial aspect, the pretty girl with the corset, but there's also acrobats. And that's part of the burlesque, you know, also atmosphere where it's a woman, yes, she's taking off clothes, but doing the most amazing acrobatic dances that you could see, you know. There's also people that eat swords.
While doing these
shows, you know what I mean?
Oh,
so
you said that's not
That's
normal.
so cool.
So that's what I mean. It's
That's
like a whole
dope.
world, it's a whole
That's
community. And that's why I try not to talk like too in depth about it in the sense that I'm still learning. So I don't want to say things that might offend anybody that is in the burlesque world and really taking it as a career. Like, you know, Dita Von Teese, for example, she is the epitome of a burlesque woman, and what, you know, she's been in movies. She's, you know, so it's a few of them that have made a really big name, and so I don't like.
That's fair.
You know, but the little bit that I know and the little bit that I've experienced so far, and the little research that I've done has made me really, really, really interested in wanting that to be the next step in my dance transition in
It looks
dance
fire
career.
from the IG videos you be posting.
Thank you.
I was looking at it this week too, and I'm like, this is dope.
It's dope.
Thank you.
Now, let me ask you, besides someone...
What happened?
Chico liking all of the...
Liking all the...
Wait, whoa.
Chico was all up in the videos. You remember the
What are you talking about, Willis?
you remember the award show? Come to us. Come to this label. If you don't need a manager all up in the video. All up in the camera. Yo, Chico was all up in the videos and pictures.
But Chico has always shown me a lot of love.
Oye, si hay también, si hay trasero, hay Chico.
Man, that's great.
Every video.
Every time I scroll, I saw Chico.
Like, but I'm showing love. I'm supporting, you know what I'm saying?
¿Qué te gustó, Dino?
She's a good-looking female. And I'm supporting her art and craft.
There you go.
We appreciate your support.
Verdad.
Chico, me and him used to sit and talk for like hours about art and music and the changes that it has been and the changes in training and how now there's a lot of people that haven't ever even trained, so they don't even know that aspect of the business, which is an aspect and is an important aspect. You have a lot of people that are very disrespectful to many of the art forms because out of ignorance, not because they want to be malignant, but just out of pure ignorance because they've never trained and really seen the background of
or took the time to understand what you're doing,
you know, so.
Y hoy en día menos, because la gente nada más quiere vainas rápidas.
Yes.
They forget
something
about,
quick.
they forget, they don't want first step.
Instant gratification.
They want to go all the way to the así.
Yeah, so instant gratification.
Yeah, so if it's a good beat, doesn't matter what, doesn't matter how, doesn't matter when, I'm bobbing to it, all right, then I'm going to keep this because it's making me feel good, and that's enough.
So, Rosa, I remember, too, back in the days, so I know you danced with artists in the past, and because I remember I met you once, you were doing one of your performances.
But I was performing with me too.
I was gonna say I saw that.
I think that's when I met you for the first time, and also I've noticed like you've done, I think, like the dancing in the clubs too.
Oh yeah.
Is that what they call go-go dancing?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that go-go dancing.
Go-go dancing is very interesting. So I got into it with a girl that went to LaGuardia High School also. Nice. And she has seen it a lot downtown where they had companies. And these companies hire ambient dancers. That's what, you would call them. Yeah. And in these amazing outfits, elaborate outfits, and go up and dance on a stage or a box, sometimes on a bar. Yeah. And just to get the people in a certain mood.
To hype up the crowd.
That shit works. Yeah, I've seen it live, bro. That shit works.
It works.
Whether it's hyping up the crowd or let's say it's a Great Gatsby party, it's just setting the mood of what the party is. Let's say it's a Valentine's Day party. Now the way we're dancing and the way we're dressed is going to be a little bit more sensual, a little bit to get people in the mood of what the party entails.
Right.
I mean, at least that's what it's supposed to be.
The idea.
That's the idea. So she has seen that a lot and she wanted to bring it uptown. And so she contacted me, Janice, hi.
Hello.
And to ask me, and at first I was very skeptical. I'm like, do I have to take my clothes off? Like, what is this about? I can't be naked in front of people. Like, this is too, I don't know. And she was like, no, it's basically, we dance in leotards, so it's pretty much the same thing, except it's in a nightclub.
Even if it's in bikini. Yo no sé cuál es la vaina de la gente. Dice, ay, está en bikini. Tú no vas a la playa.
No, ¿verdad? Todo el mundo en bikini.
¿Es lo mismo?
Yeah, I think it's the movements and, you, at the end of the day, you are doing provocative movements and the less the clothing, the more enticing it is, but it's enticing because it's sexual or sensual or
it is sexual.
Yeah.
It is sexy.
So we can't deny that.
Can I ask a personal question now that we're talking about?
Yo, don't be disrespectful.
What are you talking about, bro? Yo, he stay asking the craziest questions.
Hey, like a professional.
Yo, for real, I will pay for the classes.
Oh my God, my head. I'm thinking way off. I'm thinking he's like, you want to join? Because we're talking about sensual.
Whoa.
I was way off. I'm so sorry.
I love that she went even further.
I'm so sorry. No, because I said, can I ask a personal question? Because you said sensual, and he usually goes there. My bad.
No.
But my apologies. My apologies. My apologies. But I wanted to ask, being, in your profession, how has it been to balance your profession and your relationships, or how have you been able to kind of explain to your loved one that this is your profession, to, you know, in some shape or form dance, like you mentioned, provocatively, and dress in that form as well?
Yeah.
Pato machistas.
I've always, again, is what is it called when self-perception, and I carry myself in a way where I've, thank goodness, never had somebody try to disrespect me because of what I do as a career. I don't know, but I just haven't experienced the whole, like, oh, you fucking hoe, you dance. Like,
the judgment.
Yeah.
So what you carry yourself
I know they're there. I'm not naive to it. Yeah. It's obviously there. I know there's men that look at me and automatically assume certain things about me because of what I'm doing. Right. But that's their issue. That's their problem.
Exactly.
That's their issue, being that ignorant. Not even giving it a chance, because you could be multifaceted as a woman. It's a shame that a good woman, or what people call a good woman, and they consider a good woman, is a woman that stays at home, cooks, cleans, and doesn't live her life. I find that to be, so ridiculous. Machista. Yeah.
I mean, that's the old school mentality.
It's not only old school, but even
it's because it's passed on.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was going to say. That's even true. Now, I speak to men that are more open, quote unquote, but still like, nah, my girl's not gonna be up there shaking her ass. Why not?
Yeah, I know a lot of guys like that. They be like, yo soy open-minded.
But they always have
how about your girl? Will you allow your girl? They be like, hell no.
You see?
That's true.
If my girl's doing her thing, si ella bailarina, dance, make your money, boo-boo.
And you're supposed to know who you're dating, right?
Yeah,
you're supposed to know who you're dating. And if you know who your woman is, and you know that she respects herself, her shaking her ass, twerking, doesn't change that. She's still gonna be the same girl that if a guy comes up to you, whoa. Just because I'm shaking my ass does not give you permission to come touch it.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's ways of you carrying
yourself. You heard that, son?
Yeah, you heard that, son? There you go, man.
You know, there's ways of I think, carrying yourself and working in a way where, sorry, I hit the mic. Okay. Working in a way where the judgments are not that in your face. But yes, I've had experiences of dating where automatically a man assumes that because when he met me, I was up there dancing, that I am easy, and that automatically I'm gonna go and sleep with him. Don't get me wrong, if I want to, I will, but that's my choice. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You know what I mean? That's up to me.
That's true.
And but those dudes usually don't get far because
they come off wrong from the beginning.
From the beginning.
But people, it's harder to get into a relationship in the entertainment world, though.
Oh yeah,
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and the attention.
Just because, like, look, my past videos been like little frecos and shit like that, and girls.
Your past video has been sexual.
Yeah. I said frecos. You know what I'm saying?
A little. You put the little
frecos.
So good. At the end of the day, it's art.
Yeah, no, but they don't understand that.
They don't understand
you know what I'm saying?
They
feel some type of way. I'm like, yo, at the end of the day, I'm coming to you, back home to you, or whatever. But they don't understand that.
I know, but it does come from a lot of insecurities and...
Insecurities,
That's what it is.
And unfortunately, like we said, we can't be naive to the fact that these things do happen. There are a lot of people in the music industry and dancers who are not going to be faithful and are not going to commit because they're enjoying the attention and whatever it brings. That exists. Like I said, what you need to do is learn who the person is. Learn who you are dating.
Or
not anybody else.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Not anybody else or what anybody else says, but who you're dating, so that then you could move accordingly.
Will you stay with a person like that, though? No.
A person that cheats?
No, not cheats. Like, okay, I've been in relationships, right? Comenzamos heavy. No, eso no es nada para mí. Whoa. Ya cuando estamos en la relación, no le molesta los anteriores videos, pero cuando siguen ocurriendo los videos, is a problem. Porque now you're the active girlfriend. You get what I'm saying? That's like if they know about your past, but you're not dancing no more. No, but you're still dancing.
Yeah.
And they with you and they like, yo, tú no vas a dejar eso.
¿Tú no crees que eso también tiene que ver?
No, I couldn't.
Ya right there, ya hay un problema ahí.
Yo pienso que eso tiene que ver con lo que Rosa mencionó, que es la inseguridad. Cuando la persona tiene inseguridad de la pareja, es un problema.
Yeah.
Because you could be chico swag, you know, on your music video, singing nice, whatever, with the girl, like you've done before. but doesn't mean you're gonna do anything in your head, in your world. But in her world, she's like, oh, he's an artist. He's on camera. He sings. That girl, she's already making a whole world, and that goes the same thing.
Yo, and let me put this out there for the first time. I have never ever slept with any of the girls in my music videos.
I was just going to say,
right? OD.
I was just going to say, I think for me as a female, if I am dating someone in the entertaining business, it doesn't help if I know that they have mixed business with pleasure. You understand me? Like the moment that I know you've mixed business with pleasure once, twice, or multiple times, and these have been friendships of yours and they, develop to more, I'm gonna feel uncomfortable. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Or you guys or the public. That's who I am as a person. But if I'm dating someone and, you're a dancer and, I know that you have never dated someone that you met in the club or go dancing. You understand me? Like you keep it a different world, then it's different. But I guess that's maybe something that I need to work on as well, or insecurity that I have as well to work on.
But I mean, we also put our boundaries and our limits in our relationships, right? So it's not always like, oh, because of an insecurity, I gotta push it aside and not feel that and not. That's not human. You're gonna feel those insecurities. It's how you deal with them. If you tell your partner, this is what I'm insecure about, and and knowing that you dated somebody that was in the industry before is triggering to me, and and that's where then opening that communication could make a big difference on moving forward, instead of being like, nah, fuck them bitches that be in your fucking video. You know what I mean? Or the man be like, oh, you fucking crazy. You always fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys literally say,
I like that voice.
Like, fucking bitch, you always fucking going psycho on me, yo. Like, you wallin' all the time, yo.
Can we get the girl? Can we get the girl back?
Oh my God, I can't stand you. Why you always doing that? Always all them bitches and the asses up in your face. Like, you don't want
that in your life.
No. So I think what we need to learn is that, like, yes, these are my emotions. It's not letting them control you, but just knowing how to kind of manage them and not deny them. We all feel jealousy. Now, we all feel insecurities. It's
Rosa,
normal.
let's keep it 100 though. I feel like you going around the bushes right
now. With what? With what? What was the question? What did I miss?
Chorena. I love when the Puerto Rican side comes out for some reason.
I feel like tú estás fronteando.
Está bien fronteando,
Tú no respondiste la pregunta if you encounter some issues or challenges with a partner around your career.
No, of course. Like I said, yeah, of course. Like I've had the men that, yes, I have. But I mean, I was married for a while.
Legally or?
Legally, like officially married and everything.
Okay.
And,
¿Y qué pasó?
My job wasn't the issue in the relationship. So to answer that question,
there you go.
We were fully married, working on getting a home. We were living in an apartment. He was working at day, I was working at night, so, and the job was never the argument. So I think, like I said, it all depends on how you manage it.
Right.
So, ¿estás divorciada?
Yes. I am divorced.
¿Cuánto duró? Espérate, no, because eso fue un topic de la última vez. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the marriage thing, like nowadays that divorce rate is very high.
Yeah.
Why?
Things are tough.
That's true. I don't
know. It's tough. Marriage is tough.
Marriage is tough,
but I think it's tough because of societal norms and what people think marriage is supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's what makes it tough.
But
there's a lot of people that think that if you're not living the conventional idea of marriage, then it's not a real marriage. Yeah. So, for example, I know polyamorous people, right? And because that's not a marriage. What you mean? Yes, it is a marriage. They've discussed it. They're a partnership. Yeah. They both come to a, you know what I mean? They're both together as adults, consenting adults. Have come to a certain
I'm okay
way
with
of
that.
living, you know?
I don't think marriage is tough because at the end of the day, it's a relationship.
Yeah.
Between two people. Mm-hmm. I feel like if you go into any relationship, even a business relationship, without understanding what you're getting into.
Exactly.
And respecting other people's feelings and emotions and careers and whatnot, shit ain't gonna work out.
Yep.
That's a fact.
You gotta compromise at one point or another at the end of the day. that the paper of marriage probably puts a little pressure on people because now you're on paper. I kind of think that happens because I heard stories of people, they've been together for 10, 15 years, single. I mean, they're not married, and then they get married and they divorce 6 months later.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe it was their situation personally, but things happen because of that.
Rosa, what do you think? Si tú vives con una persona y tú tienes hijos, tú no estás casado.
Oh, when you kids are involved, that's a whole nother level.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you got kids and you live together. That's how I see it. So we don't need to put it in paper.
Yeah.
No, but the reason the paper is there is because,
I'm avoiding marriage,
for
so.
example, if you're thinking of buying a home, if you're thinking of owning things, if you're thinking of the rights to your children, the rights that you have of your children, that paper is extremely important in this government.
Yeah.
If it was a different government, if it worked different, then it wouldn't matter.
That's a fact.
But moving, like me knowing when we were trying to move in and open a savings account and having that marriage certificate made a huge difference on how easy things were moved.
To commingle things together between the two.
Yes.
Long story short is you're married with the person, right? And then you just become business partner. That's it.
That's what it is.
You pass from marriage to a business partner.
I think marriage is a partnership, should be a partnership, regardless.
Regardless
like
of the case.
business-wise, and in every aspect, it has to be a partnership, and that's what people forget.
It is a partnership.
I think a lot of times it's in a partnership, even in business, you guys have to discuss changes. You have to discuss because money's involved, right?
That's a fact.
So now, when your heart is involved and your feelings involved, I think people need to be a bit more careful as if it was money, and really have those moments of like, well, this is a partnership. Let's discuss and let's figure this out, instead of just letting ego kind of.
You brought the topic up, bro. So you out here running the show. I'm over here like, damn, I'm mad into it. Like she's teaching us, and I'm like, let's get back to dancing.
Yeah, I like that because for me, it's hard to discuss. Like that's part of why I wanted to be honestly part of something like this. You know, to come out of my shell, to speak up, to have a voice. And I think it's like maybe, you know, from childhood, for example, certain things, you know, you're told not to say or to be quiet, you know, so you start in your head, you start developing that state of mind that that's what you should be doing, right? Or that your voice doesn't matter, or you need to be careful what you say because what you say doesn't matter because it's what other people perceive what matters, if that makes any sense. So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, we need to stop being scared of being misunderstood. And the reason I say that is because for a long time I had that problem where I was worried about every single word, how I said it, when I said it, and the way I said it, because I didn't want to offend this person. I didn't want that person to get the idea, and it becomes exhausting.
It's stressful.
Oh my God.
Very
so I learned that as long as my intention is very clear, when I say something that I know the intention behind it is very clear, then how the person perceives it is up to them. And, you know, if they want to ask and they want to figure it out, then we discuss it and I'll tell you my intention. But besides that, there's nothing I could do. And that kind of liberated me in a lot of ways when it came to communicating.
And that's how you eliminate toxic people around you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't got to explain if you feel like that around anybody, you're like, you got to think twice. Like, why is this person around me if I feel like this? You know what I'm saying? I got to watch what I say and then
I like that. That's very true.
You know what I'm saying?
The best thing is when you're able to be yourself and express yourself the way you want to express yourself.
Yes.
Like you
respectfully,
said.
of course.
Respectfully.
Yeah,
no, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Because some people use, you know those people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just being rude. I'm just being rude. No, you're being offensive. You're offending everybody around you. You're not being like...
You're being a dick right now.
Yeah, you know those people. It's like, whoa. I'm all about free speech, but calm it down. Calm it down.
Sometimes delivery matters. The way you deliver the message.
No, of course.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You could say that tastes good in one way, and then you can just be like, that tastes good.
Wait, what?
What was that?
You just never know. That's how you deliver it.
And you understood that?
Yeah,
Translation.
right there.
Oh, tratata?
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Tratata. Got you.
Rosa, and dancing for you, right? I wanted to ask this earlier. You know, I'm a little late, but I wanted to ask this earlier. What does it mean to you?
Dancing for a long time for me was my therapy. I think it still is in a lot of ways. But dancing became my therapy. I suffered from depression and anxiety a lot when I was younger. I think I think that's a side effect of living in New York too.
Yeah. That's very common.
Comes with the territory.
I think so. I really
You know
think
how
so.
it helped a lot when I researched and I'm like, yo, y tanta gente sufre como yo así. I was like, yo, fuck that.
But think about the speed that you have to live in New York City. It's ridiculous, the amount of things that we got to do in one day. So how are we not anxious?
Yeah.
I think everybody would suffer anxiety. Seeing your parents going crazy, running like...
It's tough.
And then, of course, the economic income plays a factor in depression, and because in us as Latinos, we feel a kind of pressure of taking care of our parents.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
and I realized that it's not normal in other cultures.
It's not. Ya tú pa' acá y yo pa' allá. That's
like, so it's a very Latino thing. Asian culture is very much like that too. Your parents are with you until they die.
Until you don't, in our culture, you don't put parents in a home.
No, in a home.
No. That's like,
you have to set your life so that you can take care of your parents. And I have friends that don't understand this and literally look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
So that adds a factor into your anxiety and depression, because even as a small child, young, you're already worrying about like, well, what am I going to do? Because I got to make sure that I have enough money because my mom, and I got to get her a house, and I got to, So I suffered through all that, and dance was my mode of like coping and getting to a point where just let it all go. You can't let these emotions out on a daily basis because people are gonna think you're psycho. But in the dance studio, you can. They tell you to do a movement a certain kind of way, and if you're feeling angry, you could do it in an angry way and let out that energy. Or if you're feeling sad,
a little kick or something. You know what I'm saying?
So you just let it out, and it became my therapy. That's why dance holds
Until this day, you still have a lot of love for it.
Of course. It saved me.
No, because
it literally saved me. I mean, I grew up in a neighborhood where doing dance and after school programs saved me from a lot of, I know kids that went on a lot of other paths, and those paths were not
One of my best teachers that I had was my 3rd grade dance teacher. Yeah. I forgot her name, but she was hot.
Oh,
of course she was.
Search her on Facebook.
It was my crush.
If she's still hot, tell her to call me. You know what I'm saying?
Rosa, but you were talking about like, music saved you, and a lot of it sounds like your emotions. You were able to express your emotions through music. Is that what helps your movement? Is it your emotions, or what inspires you to move?
I think it is a part of it. The same thing as when you're singing. If you're singing a love ballad, you're not going to be singing it with smiles on your face and happy, So I think it's the same thing. Yeah. Different pieces meant different things for me, and that might not have meant the same thing for the choreographer. When the choreographer made it and created the piece, to him, it might have been a happy piece. But where I was at in that moment of my life, doing those movements, what the movements let out of me was a different emotion, and it just worked with the movement and the piece.
Right.
So, the same thing as a painter, any other art form. Your feeling and what you feel plays a big role. And I think that's why a lot of people say like the best comedians or the best actors or the best artists are people that live tragic lives.
Yeah.
But I think the reason that it's correlated is just because it's the only way that you can let out those emotions, those feelings in a way that is not hurting anybody else. And you don't look and sound like how you feel on the inside.
And also I feel like you're being authentic too by doing that. You're being you.
Yeah.
I would hope so. I think that's another thing too that we go back to when we were talking about being trained and stuff like that. It sucks that now everything is so cookie cutter. Everybody's looking the same, and music is sounding the same. And,
oh my God.
And it's a shame. It's a shame because the best music and the best art comes from unique moments in your life, unique ways of perceiving moments in your life. The way each person perceives one moment is different. And if you could express it, your expression of it is going to be different from your expression of it, from my expression of it. And that's what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it cool and dope. Unique. And like, that's what makes art so enticing. Yeah. And when everything is looking the same and people are trying to dance like a certain person and not letting themselves shine through, and it diminishes in a lot of ways the art of it.
It does.
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
How you feeling, Rosa? You
I
chilling?
feel great. This is fun, guys.
Yeah.
Tú estás
I'm glad.
sintiendo el vibe.
Yeah.
Porque aquí chilling.
Yeah, I'm
Es
chilling.
un vibe.
Yeah, I'm chilling. This is dope.
Yo, ¿y tú no estás bebiendo?
No,
I have my water.
Ella no puede beber.
I gave it to Rosa.
¿O tú estás preñada?
Oh my God.
Y-
You imagine if she was, you could
That'd be
announce it on
crazy, right?
air? Like, what are you
Imagine.
doing?
He be asking
Yo,
the
on
crazy.
air, like-
Crazy, like, oh man.
I was like, oh my God.
No.
Secrets out.
I'm not. Dios mío, él es un relambío, Un
We can't hire you with like the big name artists and stuff. You blow up their spots.
their
Like,
spots.
You would.
What? I haven't announced it yet.
He'll
Yo.
be the first one, like, yo, your stomach, yo. I saw
No, pero
you.
estamos aquí. Esto es chilling, you know what I'm saying? You gotta ask your questions. I'm concerned.
I'm
You're
concerned.
concerned.
You know what I'm saying?
Why are you
I'm protecting
concerned?
you. I'm like, yo, chill, tú no puedes
Not
beber.
drink.
Ajá.
You know what I'm saying?
The baby.
No, baby, hello. Ese,
Yeah.
Melissa and those stuff, whatever her name is.
Rogelio over there.
Salutriano.
And talking about drinking, though, I have an odd question. Do you drink on the job? Do you like to drink? Does it help? Or
Or smoke.
or what helps, I guess, you cope if you get nervous still dancing to this day, I should say.
I definitely cannot drink and smoke before I do a big performance. There is no way. We go back to like we were saying, it's like kind of like athletes, you know, a gymnast is not going to drink and smoke before a big meet.
You keep it professional too.
And it's not only the professional aspect, it's literally your body.
Te pone
There's
mareado.
effects. There's effects of liquor. Like,
Good.
there's effects of liquor. There's effects to smoking weed. That when you're on a stage, there's so many factors you got to think about, because that's another thing. People think that dancing is so easy. Oh, they're just up there, you know, doing movements.
No.
But there's so many aspects that you got to think about: the lighting, the spacing, where you stand, where the artist is standing, the timing, the counts, making sure that your costume doesn't affect certain movement. And when I practiced it in the dress rehearsal, my costume did this, so now I got to make sure that when I do this movement, I do it this way, so that my costume doesn't do what it did in dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
There is like a billion.
Yeah.
Okay, when I do this turn, I gotta make sure I whip my hair this way, because now I have my hair loose compared to when I had it in a ponytail. When I have it in a ponytail, I gotta do it this way. Like, there's a billion things that you're thinking about in those movements.
A lot of details.
A lot of details, a lot of the people, you know, we make it look easy. That's our job. But
Yeah.
there's a lot that you, being under the influence, I don't know how.
You don't
there's-
recommend that.
No, I don't know how there's people that do it.
That's crazy, yeah.
I have no idea. Now, if I'm freestyling and I'm just partying or go-go dancing, for example, where it's freestyling, I don't have to remember a choreography. I don't have to remember a spacing. I don't have to remember. Then it's a little bit more lackadaisical, more loose, and I'm able to then, you know, have a drink.
Go-go
Un
dancing.
tequila shot.
Go-go dancing
Yeah.
looks fun.
It is.
Yo, if I was a
It's
female, I would do
I'll
it.
be a go-go dancer.
Yeah, it's fun. What you're more aware of is more of the crowd. Like, where's the crowd going? What are they feeling? And how you could get them into the mood of like really, because the worst thing that I encounter nowadays is the clubs and everybody's just standing there smoking hookah
On their phones. On their phones.
or on their phones. Like,
Yo,
how you pay $20, $30 to get into this
Yo.
place to just
To do
stand?
that.
yo,
You could have done that at home.
I just don't get that.
I stopped doing a lot of club things because it's like, yo,
It's a
uno
weird world.
está cantando and these motherfuckers te dan la espalda, look, que están fumando hookah y vaina así. and then those are the same people that tag you like, oh, the show was lit. ¿Cómo que estaba lit? Ni estaba mirándolo.
Or take a video real quick, like, I went on vacation. It was crazy. There was this group of people. They were so loud, but they were loud for a couple of minutes. And when you pay attention, it was while the camera was rolling that they were putting it up
Yeah, that's how it be.
on Instagram. Like, and then after,
It's all in
But
act.
that's everybody now. Nowadays,
Yes, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I met somebody who was surprised that what was it that he said? He said that I am very present. And he was surprised how present I was.
while performing.
And while watching a
Oh, wow,
performance,
okay.
while going out, while dancing. If I'm going to go out, I want to party.
Y si tú estás, y claro, y si
I
tú vas
wanna-
a pagar.
I
Claro.
want to party. I want the liquor to run through my body, and all of a sudden my legs start shaking and moving. Like, that's what I just don't understand.
That's a fact.
I just don't get it. So so that's part of being as a go-go dancer. It's literally seeing where the energy is, seeing who, because there's always little hubs, you know, in the clubs of people that you see. If I get this crowd going, this party's gonna be popping.
It's gonna be lit.
So that's more of what you're thinking about when you're doing that job compared to, you know, big shows and stuff like that. So that one is more fun. That one.
How are you able to do that then? How are you able to incorporate, you know, the crowd and bring them in and entice them into having a good time or into, you know, putting that emotion into that crowd?
Yeah, well, you know how it is. Females rule the world. So,
now that's a fact.
She's like, you know, I just gotta do 1, 2, 3 and it's done.
I've seen there's guys go-go dancers, pero no lo mismo. Yeah.
Nah, that sounds
bro.
horrible.
Why does that sound horrible?
Us females
No,
get it
y'all need to. I know, but
it's a shame that
pero
we can't.
tú sabes por qué?
No, I'm all about the female
because it makes men uncomfortable. That's the reason they don't hire them in straight
But you know
clubs.
what it is? You know what it is?
Good. Nah,
I'm gonna tell you.
Security.
I'm gonna tell you what happens. No es que las mujeres no quieren ir, es que they afraid to get judged.
Yeah.
For them wilding out or like how guys go with the females like trying to touch your ass or whatever.
But I feel like females like female go dancers too.
Oh, of
no,
course.
they do. Pero yo
But
estoy
that's
diciendo,
by default because there is not a hot man up
It's
there.
like-
Espérate, hold up. Come on.
If I was,
We had DJ Steph Case the other day, and I was like, "Yo, female DJs will be amazing at the club. Like, I will go I'm not going to no club to go watch a male DJ.
That's a fact.
but there's a lot of female DJs. The problem is that they don't get the respect that the male DJs get.
Again,
So we got a lot of work to do, ladies and gentlemen. We need more female DJs.
How many careers
no,
is it like that?
tú sabes,
People?
hay que
But we're equals. Yeah,
the people that put you on son el problema. Tú oye, la gente que they put you on son el problema, que son machistas, bro.
That's true.
But that's what I'm
Hasta
saying.
que eso no cambie.
Man's ego is so fragile.
It's crazy.
It's so fragile that's the only reason women cannot be as open sexually as they really are.
It's a fact.
It's a man's ego, 100%.
That's what it is.
1000%. This is why, as a default, of course, if I'm in the club, like I said, females, we run a lot of the fun that happens. So if I see a crowd that I could tell that who I'm gonna gravitate to and pull out is the girls, not the guys.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go and shake my ass on a dude in that group. No.
Yeah.
Those females right there is about to start the party.
And then the guy's gonna follow.
And the guy's gonna follow suit.
That's
Like
strategic.
sheeps.
Yeah,
Man, that's
like
strategic.
you have to keep your eyes open onto those things. And like I said, the male ego is fragile. So if there's a male dancing on top of the bar, the men are not gonna be having fun. They're just not.
I'm not gonna be having fun.
You see what I mean? which
I'm not. I'm just,
Exhibit A.
And it's not.
Exhibit B.
No,
Look,
but
it's
But
not.
mind you, us females, nosotros tenemos que tragarnos que ustedes están viendo a las mujeres bailando. You
no,
get
pero
what I'm saying?
espérate,
You
no,
see
no.
what I mean? It's
Hold
kind of
up.
crazy.
No, I agree with
Preach.
you.
Hold up.
Like,
So crazy.
Because it's cool.
Preach.
It's cool that because I've been to a spot that there'll be a male here and a female here. I think that's cool. Because
Yeah.
tú
You get
aprovechas
those
allí
worlds,
y
I
yo me
think.
voy pa' aquí. Y ya, estamos felices.
I agree.
Yo.
No, I agree. I
Either
agree.
rhyme.
I
with
think
the
we
girl
need to
dancer
give.
at.
I think we should give to both. But
I believe
who
in
are the
equality.
owners of the clubs? Mostly men.
Men, yeah.
Of course.
So as an owner of a club,
You ain't gonna book
you already know.
Yeah.
The first que un hombre ahí de que en pantaloncillo bailando. No, yo no quiero esa vaina en mi club, no. No quiero ver esa vaina.
Ni que fuera Hogan.
You know what I mean? So it's a shame. It's a shame. So as females, of course, we're gonna be like, oh well, this girl's beautiful. Let me go party with her and tip her, and because it's the default. I mean,
And that
it's the same
business,
thing.
yeah.
You know what's it's the same thing too, which I think I need to make like a protest or something. How come there's no happy endings for females?
How you know that?
Now they have it.
Where? Show me the place. I've been researching
at
and
the,
looking for years.
Wait a minute.
At the Kim Jong-un spot. down the
Wait,
block.
No, I pass like
That's true.
it's true. I pass massage parlors that I already know. I'm like, that's a guy could get a happy ending there. Like you could tell from the sign right away. Not for females.
Damn.
I mean, I don't know.
So I'm gonna open.
I mean, Pornhub has it.
I'm gonna open one for
I'm
females.
done.
All I'm
It's
saying
gonna be
is-
hot men.
That's
I'm
a-
gonna open one for females. It's gonna be
that's a-
hot men giving women massages, and if the women
Can I
want
be
a
the
little happy
secretary?
ending at the end, they do a little
Can I be the
nudge.
secretary?
and-
Can we like
How-
become business partners then?
What does
Like,
that include?
Happy
It
ending,
depends.
una paja. Eso es así.
Well,
Okay,
yeah, just
but-
jerking you off,
That's
masturbating
it.
you.
Yeah.
So no penetration, But
Yeah.
you know, after you get a massage, how relaxed you feel. You imagine right after that you get an orgasm. It's like, all right, I'm good now. Oh shit.
Yo no puedo como ustedes.
Déjalo ahí,
hoy.
déjalo ahí.
Happy ending.
What
I'm
happened?
nervous talking about it. Goodness gracious. I got nervous.
Oh, no.
Yo no puedo con ustedes
No,
hoy.
it's fine. But that's a good point, though. That's a business right there.
I'm just saying, hey, nobody steal that. That's Rosa's idea.
That's Rose's idea. Rose's
I was
happy
not
ending.
ready for this idea.
Audience, viewers, listeners, do not steal it.
That's dope. I like
Views
that.
be advised.
Rosa's
You know-
happy ending. That's
And
fire.
unfortunately, we can't chill forever, though. Because, time
Yeah.
limits. Plus, we got to leave here, open up that happy ending spot.
Oh my goodness.
I was chilling. I was having such a good
Nah,
time. I even dropped my wine and
It's
everything.
cool.
Look at that.
Eso está bien todavía. You can,
Yeah, no te preocupes.
Óyelo.
Yo te tenemos una pregunta antes de cerrar, because, we have the little time constraint, pero you fucking brought the vibes today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a fact.
This energy and you being pure the way you being yourself,
it was the shirt.
Thank you.
it's amazing.
Giving me the extra.
Yeah.
Big Beetlejuice vibe.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice,
You
Beetlejuice,
Beetlejuice / referee de WWE porque tiene los stripes. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, she just works at a very high-end Foot Locker.
I was
Yeah.
thinking that, the Foot Locker.
Nah, I love it, though. I love it. It's like a dress,
You're a
right?
clown.
Yeah.
It's real dope. But before we call it a night, because we got to go open up the happy ending spot. Con toda seriedad, like, what advice you got for girls? Let's talk about females that are trying to get into the business you're in, because you're independent. You live off this.
Yeah.
Right? What advice do you have to females who do want to get into this industry,
But they scared.
but they scared? Yeah.
Just find the lane that you want and focus on that. I made a few mistakes in the sense of not knowing where I wanted to go as a dancer. I wanted to be a ballerina, and then I was like, no, I want to do Broadway, and then I was like, no, I want to,
Yeah.
and that's fine to have the options and keep your options open, but to truly be successful, what is it? What did they say? Like, good at all trades, but not an expert in one.
Oh, you're a master of all trades, well, master of none, something like that. Yeah.
Where you're doing everything and you don't focus on one thing.
Yeah.
So I would say focus on what it is that you want your dance career to be. And if you want to do the more commercial aspect of it, then truly dive in and research it and really try to have it, breathe, live it, eat it.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna save you in the long run. But more than anything, make sure that it's something that you love. Make sure it's important. It's very important. Don't do it for the fame. Don't do it for the money. Don't do it for the hype. Don't do it for the views. Do it because it truly moves you in ways that other things don't move you.
It will last longer that way too. Like, you'll do it for a longer
You'll be
period
happy.
of time. Yeah.
And I know that that's like a tall order because what do we really love?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a tall order to say, oh, I really,
Yeah.
but just make sure that what you're doing does bring you joy on a daily basis. That even through the bad and you're gonna go through moments of like, oh my God, why did this go like this? But at the end of it, you're still like, shit, I'm doing this though.
Yeah, I'm
Pop
actually doing it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That's dope.
So, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Rosa.
Thank you guys for
Ariel, are you gonna
having
start
me.
dancing?
I don't know how to dance. I told you that.
¿Tú no bailas
You know
bachata?
what?
Yo
Matter
no
of
Ni
fact,
bachata.
nada.
I'm gonna be a
Can you dance
go-go
bachata?
Yo,
Nada.
Yo, you and I gonna be go-go dancers. We're gonna battle on top of the
Yo, that's a fact.
We
Yo
need
me
to-
pongo un baby oil, loco.
Oye, un
Y eso va a
baby
ser.
oil.
And I'm rocking a Speedo.
Yo, you know.
he's like,
You know what would be
Johnson
cool?
Johnson, like,
I'm
You know
rocking a
what would be
Speedo.
cool? For your burlesque dance, the little nipple tassels. Can we give him some tassels?
Hell
What the hell is a
yes.
tassel?
It's for your nipples, and it has like little
Tato.
she wears those with the
Yeah.
That's
Little
lit.
pasty with tassels.
little pasties.
Tú sabes
Yeah.
lo
I'll teach
cuarto
you guys.
como yo me
I'll teach
busca.
you guys how to make them spin.
Chico's gonna be making them
I'm gonna grab
spin.
one of the females and just put it right there.
Óyelo.
You know what you guys need to get into too? Kizomba?
Kizomba.
Oh,
What's
that's
kizomba?
No, pero
Close us out with that.
Yo.
What's Kizomba? What's Kizomba?
Yeah,
a romantic
it's
ass
amazing.
bachata / something dance.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
partner.
yeah.
It's a partner
It's a part.
dance.
It's sexual.
It doesn't
It's
need
not-
to
and-
be
We're good?
sexual, but it's sensual.
Sensual, not sexual. Sensual.
It's sensual, and
Sabi.
it's kind of you're with your partner really close proximity, so it's nice and it's fun, and you get to feel the vibes.
Oh, I
So-
think I've seen that is very like
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
the
you flow,
expression, but
yes.
it's like more of a flow
Yeah.
than step. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Yeah,
that's cool.
So salsa is more structured. Bachata is more structured. Kizomba, there's structure to it, but it's more about the feels of the music and what the music does to your body. It's really nice.
Wow,
awesome.
Rosa, thank you so much
thank
for
you.
chilling with us.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you. We're high-fiving.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Aquí Chillin es un
episode
vibe.
28.
Always
28.
Con Rosa.
But now her birthday is the
28.
26th. Her too.
Thank you so
again,
much,
Rosa.
Rosa.
Of course. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank
Good
you for
night.
bringing the vibe.